Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Megaman Battle Network 6. In the last one we got here to Skytown to do the Navi Pavilion Selection Test thing again. So let's get that started. Alright, that's our specialty because it's apparently a battle test this time around. But we shouldn't get too cocky because we might fall on our face. I'm not going to read this dialogue because honestly it's not that weird. And what is the weird detail of this cutscene I noticed? Most net navies aren't, like, plot important. All their dialogue is in all caps. But at the start of this cutscene, this guy talks with normal punctuation like Land does here, and I don't get that. Anyway, we're gonna meet Mr. Weather, who, if you were paying attention last part, during the cutscene where they heard the weather, is that weather forecaster guy who is not really a forecaster because he makes the weather that way. Which is, kind of impossible, really, I think. Anyway, time to get this test started. I actually really like this area. Ooh, unique NPC! You're taking the test as well? Heh, good luck. And another one! A test, huh? Good luck. So this is the real Mr. Weather. Wow, he spoke! And we got an umbrella. What we have to do for this test is that in the two sky areas, there are 4 judges spread throughout. They're going to throw viruses at us, and we have to take them all out, and for doing that, we get a win card, or victory card, rather. We have to get all 4, and then report to that Aqua Navi, who will be in Sky Area 2 by the end of it all. By the way, subchip dealer right here. Nothing too useful, though. I don't really bother with unlocking mystery data more often than not. I don't know why. And that's a 10-chip trader, so if you want to trade 10 chips, that's there. I might use it at some point off-screen. I don't know. I'm actually getting quite a few battle chips in this game, too, which is kind of rare, because usually I end with, like, a library of, like, 60. But my library at this point is actually already at 60. And Vulcan 3A, that's going to actually replace one of my normal Vulcan 1s. I don't care about the chip code, honestly, because I'm all about dealing damage in this game. Plus, with the asterisks I have, and the fact I'm going to be using /beast a lot, and all the other beast outs and crosses. Damage dealing is all I really care about. Charges. And welcome to Sky Area. This place is labyrinth-like. First off, the Net Cafe is up here. And I talked to this guy a couple times, as you'll notice. But the thing is, there's a random HP memory you can get from a Net Cafe guy, and I'm never sure exactly how to get it. Anyway, in time for the first virus battle. All these guys throw multiple viruses at you. They go 3, 5, 7, and 10, I want to say. And they almost always have new viruses, like this one has old heaters and the other guys. They're like the old stoves from earlier, except their fire can actually crack the panels and and I think with other kinds, break them. They're obviously more damaging as well. Next new virus in Battle 2 is Piranha 3. Not really that much different aside from damage and speed. Although the one thing with the piranhas is that if one of them locks onto you, they all fire. That's one thing I forgot to mention at this point. And other new virus is Gigacorn. That just sounds like a badass tub of popcorn that you can get at a movie theater. However, I'm just gonna deal 600 damage to him and completely destroy it. I think their explosions might crack panels. I'm not sure about that though. And for doing all that, we get win card A. In each of the 2 sky areas, there are 2, what are they called? Navis that you need to talk to, so yeah. And we got another new virus. Scarecrow. These guys are actually really interesting viruses. They're like elementals, so they're weak to wood. And what they do is, they wait a while, then they summon lightning down on top of themselves. Which they then take a second, use that lightning to heal themselves, and then blast it forward for a couple seconds, covering the entire row in front of them. They're actually pretty cool viruses, I really like them. And those little red squares there that you can see on screen right now are the rush food things. I'm not going to use them at all. I might off-screen, I'm not entirely sure, it all depends on what they have. I know one of them has an HP memory, I forget what that is though. And got another new virus, Sortie 2. It's pretty much sorties with Fire Elemental. And that is very apparent by the fact that it gave me Fire Sword. My folder might be kind of overpowered. Yep, 5 battles, and the first new virus is Chimpy. The Champy series is actually pretty easy once you realize the fact that if you just press A the moment they teleport, you're pretty much going to attack them with something. And I want to save that full synchro for the next battle. And a new virus this time around is Puffy 3. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know the exact difference between all the Puffies. I think it's that they fire their little spikes faster. Even naturally. So yeah. Also, as you can see, Full Cust is now in my folder, so this thing's gonna get really quick, really fast. Next new viruses are Honey Bomber 2 and Shrubby 3s. Other than damage and speed, no real difference between the two. From their original states, at least. And there you can showcase the Slash Cross's charge only dealing damage to one column because that guy was in front of me. Honestly, you're going to be seeing a lot of Slash Cross from here on out. The next cross, and the cross after that are ones you're going to see a lot. The fifth and first cross I'm not going to use much more anymore. Unless they're obviously weak to it. Anyway, new enemy is these guys. No, damn it, roll! I'm not sure what the exact mechanics are that the game uses to prioritize attacks with that. All I know is that these guys get really easy with Slash Cross due to the wide sword effect its charge shot has. See, this is how you do a sword type charge right, Battle Network 5. Because Proto Soul's charge was pretty much useless. The sword boosty ability was useful, but not that. And another new enemy, Honey Bomber 3. Nothing too troublesome. After doing all that, we get win card B. And we're now done here in Sky Area 1. Yeah. Whenever you see a green tree like that, I think it's one you have to have Slash Man cut down. Now, Sky Area 2 is pretty tedious because there's a lot of one-way panels in here. And more often than not, you're going to need to backtrack to get to them. And we'll get that Blue Mystery data later on. Hey, Mix Navi! Sorry if I sound a bit sniffly right now. For some reason my nose is having some trouble. Maybe it's the snow outside because it's the day after the Super Bowl and we up here in Massachusetts just got that 1 foot of snow and it's ridiculous. Anyway, level 3 Judge right here also has 5. I thought he had 7. Huh. Either way. First new virus is our Metar SP and Gunner SP. SP is a new virus class they added to this game. Pretty much it's a step up from, I think, the V3 class, like the Metar 3s. 3 had something very similar with the Omega class, but they only showed up, like, once in the storyline. And I think I skipped over those fights anyway because they took forever. Nothing too difficult, though. Obviously, the Gunner SP can crack the panels, though. And other new enemies, I think they're both a new one, Quaker SP and Breakers. The Shaker class actually gets really easy with the Reflector chip because you can do this. I'm surprised none of them crack panels either. Well, maybe one of the later versions does. Next new enemy is Gregar SP. One thing I forget if I mentioned about the Kragers is that they actually do have double defense. However, you might notice if you're dealing like 5 damage per shot like you are naturally with me, you might notice you're actually dealing 3 damage. That's because, if I recall correctly, damage in this game is rounded up if you're doing a decimal. Mind you, doing a decimal is very, very rare, but still. And this Gregar also likes to move unlike its cousin from earlier. And next new enemies, Fighter Plane 3 and Fighter Plane SP. These fighter planes, when they're flying, will actually change the road they're flying on to the one you're on, so they can actually try to run into you. And after they do that twice, they do their little attack. However, I think one of them has priority over the other. It all depends on who stops first. And I think the final new enemy, is Armadillo 3. I think their biggest difference is speed. Not that matters to Mega Boomerang. And with that, we get win card C. And you might notice I'm actually going to use the Rush Food now. Upon using it on these red panels, Rush shows up and makes a bridge. So that's a shortcut now to get to the area above us. Why I didn't just use that instead of crossing over, I don't know. Oh god, I'm being an idiot. And here's the level 4 judge. A whopping 10 battles in a row. However, the first new viruses don't show up until battle 6. And those are Scarecrow SPs. Pulse Bulbs 3 are what the other guys were. These guys can be kind of tricky because of their HP count. Because as you'll see coming up here in a moment, their attack does in fact heal them, as I mentioned earlier. However, a couple of good slashes to the face will take anything out. After that, we got Champy EXs? Champy SPs, rather. Some higher tier viruses, as you can see, can actually have battle chips. I think what that one does is take one panel, but I don't quite recall. Either way, you know what the Champy series does at this point. It's nothing too new. They've been in the series for 3 games now, after all. Next new virus is Puffy SP. I actually am now thinking that the difference between all the SPs and such is the speed at which they shoot out their spikes. Yeah, because they looked much faster. And next new enemy is Metal Gregar. That just sounds like something from Nickelodeon's Guts. Pretty easy if you have Super Vulcan, as you can see. I've actually had a lot of good luck this game for some reason. And I think the final new enemy, yep, is Scarecrow 2. If you were playing Cybeast Falls, you would actually fairly soon be getting a Wood-type cross to deal with these Electric-type enemies much more easily, but that's not going to happen for me. And with that, we got win card D. But before I end this off, I want to get a couple items first. You can actually walk on this invisible path to get to here, which is a Mega Cannon S. You can walk down here near where we got win card C to get a Reg Up 3. You can come down here into this teleport comp in order to get a couple Boom Mystery Datas, one of which is an Unlocker, the other one I think is an HP plus 50 Navicus program. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 19, we'll be finishing off this test to see what happens afterwards. See you guys then.